Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says fighting on the Eastern Front is escalating, with Vladimir Putin throwing more and more troops into battle.
Nikos Christodoulides and Andreas Mavroyiannis will face each other in a runoff election in the race to be Cyprus's president.
Ukraine is gearing up for mass Russian bombardments across the country any day now, as Moscow's invasion nears the one-year mark. As part of preparations, military intelligence chief Kirill Budanov is poised to take over as defense minister in Kyiv. President Volodymyr Zelensky says fighting on the Eastern Front is getting tougher, with Vladimir Putin throwing more and more troops into battle.
Ми бачимо цей збільшений тиск на різних напрямках фронту, а також тиск в інформаційному полі. Дуже тяжко на Донеччині, запеклі бої, але як би не було тяжко, та яким би не був тиск, ми маємо вистояти.
But Moscow claims Kyiv is planning what it calls a provocation of a false flag operation in Kramatorsk. It says Ukraine is plotting to attack medical facilities in the town and then will accuse Russia of committing war crimes. As Putin's forces make incremental advances in the east, Ukraine is still calling for the West to speed up its delivery of promised weapons. Officials say Moscow wants to capture all of the heavily industrialized Donbass region or the south, so it can widen a land corridor to the occupied peninsula of Crimea. The US military is still looking for the wreckage of a giant Chinese balloon it says had been spying on key sites across America. The balloon drifting high above was first revealed over Montana, creating a buzz down below among residents who initially wondered what it was. Now they wonder what its arrival means amid a chorus of alarm raised by elected officials. Warships off Myrtle Beach in South Carolina are on the lookout for debris. The recovery is proving difficult as it's spread over 11 kilometres. On Saturday, fighter jets shot down the balloon. President Joe Biden, who was criticised for not acting sooner, said he gave the order to shoot when it was safe to do so. Beijing claims the floating object was a harmless weather balloon which had drifted off course. It says the US is overreacting and reserves the right to respond. Diplomatically, the incident has made already strained relations between the two countries worse. Secretary of State Antony Blinken abruptly postponed a high-stakes Beijing trip aimed at easing tensions.
Career diplomat Andreas Mavroyiannis, backed by a communist-rooted party, and a former centre-right foreign minister, Nikos Christodoulides, will battle it out for Cyprus's presidency in a runoff election. This is after neither candidate achieved 50% of the total vote, according to official results announced on Sunday. Christodoulides, who has constantly led opinion polls, was jubilant at the result.
Νίκησε η δημοκρατία. Σήμερα νίκησε η συλλογικότητα. Σήμερα νίκησε η βούληση της κοινωνίας για συνένωση δυνάμεων που θα αξιοποιήσει τους καλύτερους και θα πάρει την Κύπρο σε μια νέα εποχή.
Mavroyiannis, who previously served as the chief negotiator in peace talks with the Turkish Cypriot-controlled government in the north of the island, pulled off an upset by making it to the last two. He was trailing another candidate in opinion polls before the vote.
Σε αυτή την προσπάθεια που ξεκινήσαμε μαζί δεν περισσεύει κανείς. Η αγάπη για τον τόπο μας καταργεί τις διαχωριστικές γραμμές και μας ενώνει.
Cyprus's chief returning officer has said that turnout was 72%, slightly higher than the previous election in 2018. The island has been divided since 1974, when Turkey sent troops which invaded the northern side of the island. It was in response to a coup which Ankara alleged had sought to unify the island with Greece.
Επίλυση του Κυπριακού, οικονομική ανάπτυξη, διαφθορά. Αυτά είναι τα τρία ζητήματα που αναμένεται να κυριαρχήσουν στον δρόμο προς τις δεύτερες προεδρικές κάλπες. Οι δύο υποψήφοι πρέπει να κερδίσουν το κρίσιμο ποσοστό των αναποφάσιστων αν θέλουν να κόψουν πρώτοι το νήμα. Από τη Λευκοσία και το Euronews, Απόστολος Στάικος.
The European Commission has presented proposals to enhance the competitiveness of Europe's net zero industry and support the fast transition to climate neutrality. Labelled as the Green Deal Industrial Plan, the scheme aims to help European companies operating in green industries remain competitive globally. The plan builds on previous initiatives and is widely regarded as a reaction to major green subsidy packages by other countries, especially the US's Inflation Reduction Act. Speaking in Brussels, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen avoided the notion of a tit-for-tat measure.
We welcome this. This is good news. We have since long argued that the fight against climate change is a must for our planet, a must for our economic prosperity, and a must for our strategic independence. We are competitive. We need competition. What we are looking at is that we have a level playing field in the global competition as well as a level playing field within the single market. This is for us so important.
As far as funding goes, the European Commission is open to relaxing existing state aid rules temporarily. But in the medium term, Brussels wants a new common fund. Yet this idea has already caused a big backlash in European capitals. Many member states are against the idea of any kind of fresh money, preferring instead existing programmes. On the other hand, the political opposition says it can't be done without it.
In the funding, we see that it's basically old wine in new bottles. So we see that stuff like that was already spent for in Repower, the ETS revenues, they are also now again spent, and the Corona fund is spent again. So I'm not sure this will help us, because we actually need to have, I think, additional money on the European level. So we need to discuss about where to get this additional funding from, some kind of Eurobonds, and this is crucial.
Whether the European Commission's plan will see the light of day remains to be seen. It will be discussed by EU leaders at a summit next week, with a final decision expected in March. Chris Pitches, Euronews, Brussels.
The Greek port of Elefsina, a bustling city west of Athens, is just one of the European capitals of culture for 2023, alongside Timișoara in Romania and Veszprém in Hungary. Festivities kicked off on the 4th of February with 2 days packed full of shows, concerts and sporting activities. Taking its inspiration from the city's rich history, the opening ceremony was held